What's going on, guys? It is me, Jefferson, coming to you guys with a video. Yes, I know, finally, I miss you guys. I know you guys miss me too. I know. My next video is probably going to be 3 months away from now, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get onto this video. This video was made back in December when the Breds came out, the 2012 Breds, and I never got around to actually editing the video until today. I've been real busy with just everything, like always, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and post this video up, and this video is about pretty much just me. There's been a lot of discussion about early release pairs and whether they're fake or where they're coming from or how they're made and what's the quality and are they different, yada yada yada. Well, this video is pretty much gonna explain the differences between a retail pair, bam, like this one, and an early release pair, like in the video. Now, the early release pair is from, I'm not going to say where it's from, but it's from a website that is overseas and ships early release shoes. They continue to do so, and it's kind of interesting what I find out about the shoe, because it looks perfect. It looks just the way this shoe is, but there are little minor differences here and there, and it makes you kind of think that, hey man, like, what's going on? It's different materials, and I'm gonna let you guys judge for yourselves and let you guys decide on whether you wanna, rep Team Early. I got my shoes way before you guys, and I'm cooler than you because I have the shoes first. But at the end of the day, it's not the same shoe that you get from a regular retailer. Once release date comes out. So, and I'm not saying to not cop or whatever. I'm not gonna. That's not my place to be. If you want your shoes early, pay more than retail for them, or if you guys don't want to wait, go for it. You know what I mean? I understand a lot of people are out of town when December comes around, and they're out, or they could be in the military and then they're not around to cop the shoes. So I understand that you gotta get the shoe earlier than because you won't be around to cop them on release day. So whatever it may be, that's you guys for to decide. I'm just here to tell you guys the difference between a retail pair and an early release pair, and yeah, and Kobe. Alright, so let's start off talking about the size of the box. Here, let me go ahead and just align this together, and there's clearly a marginal difference here, about probably a 3/4 of an inch of a difference in a width of the box. Alright, not only that, you also have an attached MSRP tag right here, still attached to the retail versions, and the one on top, which is the early release pair, is not. So you have the MSRP and the size of the boxes. That's two differences straight off, and I haven't even opened the boxes. So let's go ahead and open it up. With the box being smaller than the other right there, this is of course smaller than the one on the right. I just noticed right now is that the colors on here are totally different, and no, that is not your screen, alright? And if you watch this video in HD, you can totally tell the differences. This one's a little bit more saturated, it's a lot clearer. This one's a little bit more darker, and straight up right there you could tell the difference in color. And the tissue paper right here is a lot different. The one on the right is clearly a little bit more lighter. Here's the release date tissue, and here is the early release. So early, retail, early, retail. Alright, so bam, that's another difference. Alright, there's two differences that I noticed about the shoe horns. This one right here is the retail version. This one is the early one. There is a slight difference in color. This one's a little bit more saturated. Again, this one's a little bit more dark. On the other side, there is some lettering on the this side right here, and that's also different as well. Let's talk about the patent leather. Now, the patent leather on the retail version is smooth as a baby's butt. This was nice. It feels very buffered, whereas this one feels a little tad rough. I mean, it's still slick and everything, but clearly you can tell that this one is a lot more shinier and a lot more smooth and buffered up, whereas this one's a little bit more cloudy. On the tongues are different as well. This one is again a little bit more saturated than the one on the left. So this again is the retail version, and this one is the early one. I did find it weird how the stitching on the Jumpman was a little off on the Jumpman is a little bit edgy right here. It's kind of unfinished or whatever, but many of the retail versions were the same way. Both of the leather on it is about the same. This one, however, feels a little bit more smoother, a little less quality, I would say. This one's a little bit more, has a little bit more give. It feels a little bit more better than the early release one. So ballistic mesh on the early release one feels different too, whereas this one feels a little bit more fuller. Alright, the padding is I would say thinner on the early release pair. I could clearly feel the difference. Again, these things that I'm mentioning right now, you can't really judge because, you know, you're not feeling them, but just trust me on it, it's a lot different materials. The outsoles are pretty much just about the same. There's like an outline on the Jumpman on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and see that. Yeah, there's an outline on this one too. Carbon fiber is, yeah, the carbon fiber is the same color. If anything, the sole on this one is a little bit more saturated. So I guess the early ones were just a lot more darker in general. The pods feel about the same type of rubber. Toe boxes are clearly the same. Yeah, it totally feels the same. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the insoles for both shoes, and this is where it gets interesting. Alright guys, so which one is the early release pair? Left side or the right side? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you guessed the right side, you are correct. I feel like you guys are watching Dora right now. Anyways, the right side is the early release one. There is a definite significant difference between the two insoles. The early release pair, of course, has that size 9.5 sticker on it, whereas this one does not. The Jumpman, of course, on this one is a lot brighter, which is totally opposite of what we have seen. This is a lot darker on the retail pair. The insole itself is also different. Clearly, this one's a little bit more thinner. There's a little less, feels a lot less fuller. This one, of course, a little bit more stiff on this pair. The glue is a little bit more apparent. This one has absolutely no glue. Alright, it feels like they just made this in a day. Another difference that I have noticed just now was the materials on the tongues. Clearly you can see a difference in color, and also if you can feel it, it's totally different on this one. This feels a little bit more cottony and a little bit more plush, whereas this one is a little bit more firmer, more fuller, I would say, and the quality is totally different. Something that I haven't been mentioned yet is the production date. This one, it says July 11, 2012 to September 25, 2012. On the early release pair, it says June 13 to June 29. Alright, so that clearly right there is a 2-week production period, which is kind of weird, but there's probably a reason for that I don't know of. They could have clearly just made like 2 weeks worth of like maybe 500 pairs and move factories and whatever, but there were actual pairs on release date that had some 2-week, 3-week periods of production, so it's not just the early release pair, so keep that in mind. I have seen it for myself. There's also a difference again in feel of both pairs. The retail version was a little bit more rugged. Alright, this one's a little bit more soft on the inside, so these two are different materials right here, and also on the other side. Nothing different about the stitching involved within the shoe. They both are the same to me. This one's just a little sloppy, which is the retail version. Okay, and the stitching on the toe box is just about the same. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that comparison between the early release pair and also the retail pair, and I wanted to know what you guys think about it. For me personally, I don't cop early release pairs, but I do know some people who do, and they're happy with it. I mean, by all means, if they want to cop, they can cop, you know. That's not my part to say, hey, don't cop early release pairs, because that's not my money. But as far as me, I stick with a release date pair. You know, by the time they come out, it's almost the same price anyways at an early release pair, you know what I mean? Say it's $250 to cop early, and then by the time they come out, their aftermarket price is $250 anyway, so you're really not losing anything other than having them early. But anyway, that's just me. So what do you guys think about it? Do you think they're fake? Do you think they're not, you know, legit because they're not authorized by Nike or whatever, and all this other BS that comes along with it? And you guys could thank the Concord release for it. That was the first major release that was, you know, the debate between early and retail and official and fake. I could go on and on, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that, and until next time, thank you for watching. I have another video coming up real soon. Yeah, alright, later. Summertime, summertime.